The indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) has strongly opposed the long-standing relocation policy adopted by the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCT), describing it as a violation of their fundamental human rights and the rule of law. They advocated instead for an inclusive urban renewal and integration approach that fosters acceptance, comfort, and provides humane and equitable alternatives. The position was made known during a public hearing organized by the House of Representative Committee on Area Councils and Ancillary Matters held at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja, on Thursday. Declaring the hearing open, Speaker of the House of Representatives Honorable Tajuddin Abbas urged stakeholders to freely express their views, noting that such contributions would assist lawmakers in crafting informed legislation. Abbas, who was represented by Honorable Joe Oke Onoa Kalusi, described the intervention as a critical step towards promoting national unity and the brotherhood embedded in Nigeria's constitution and the national anthem. He noted that the issue of integrating FCT indigenes has been a recurring debate across successive administrations, emphasizing that the matter is not just relevant to Abuja, but has broader implications for justice and equity across the country. Speaker Abbas. Chairman of the House Committee on Area Councils and Ancillary Matters, Honorable Frederick Agbedi, explained that the hearing was prompted by a motion earlier moved on the need to explore alternative approaches to resettling or integrating both indigenous and non-indigenous residents in the FCT. Speaker Abbas therefore charged the committee to carefully document all contributions made during the hearing, assuring that the 10th House, under his leadership, is committed to developing legislative solutions that reflect the collective aspirations of the people.
The issue of integration of indigenous and non-indigenous people of the Federal Capital has been a debate that spanned various administrations in Nigeria, especially in the Federal Capital Territory. This is a debate that is not only topical in FCT, but across the nation over the years. We are in a nation that, as encapsulated in our national anthem, that though tribe and tongue may differ, we remain united in brotherhood to build a nation where no man is oppressed. This message of our national anthem should be the operational guideline in every society in Nigeria. It is time for us to put this issue of ethnic consideration as the basis of national identity to the backboners through legislative action. Therefore, Mr. Chairman and distinguished colleagues and our guests, the assignment of which you are all assembled today is a national duty, a national call, to highlight the need to determine alternative ways of resettling or integrating indigenous and non-indigenous residents of FCT as part and parcel of Nigerian without discrimination. This matter was early debated in the plenary of March 11th, as proposed by the mover of this motion, Honorable Gaza, who is your son, before this committee was mandated to engage a wider community of Nigerians and harvest their views on this important matter. You have been invited here as part of our legislative process to enable you to express your views and make contribution during interactive section. Your views and contribution will guide this House in taking the necessary legislative steps to give every Nigerian, especially in the indigenous people, a sense of belonging in the nation. You are encouraged to participate freely and contribute your informed views and opinion, which will go a long way in making an informed decision by the House.
In his remarks, Director of Resettlement and Compensation at the FCDA, TPL Nasiru Suleiman, requested additional time for the agency to present its memorandum. The committee granted a 2-week extension to enable the FCDA to submit its presentation.
With regard to our memorandum, in fact, we are not yet ready. What really happened is a committee was set up, both FCTA and FCDA, to come up with a memorandum. The committee sat, were able to produce a memorandum. We sent it to the Honorable Minister of State. We send it to the Honorable Minister of State so that for our input, and also she will send it to the Honorable Minister for his input before our final submission. So on that regard, that's why I came to apologize on behalf of the Stakeholders Department so that we'll be given a time so that we'll come and do the presentation and also to submit our memo.
Also speaking at the hearing, the Shekpeyi of Geriki, Chief Usman Ngakupi, who represented the owner of Abaji, lamented the sacrifices made by the FCT natives, including the loss of ancestral lands and property in the name of national development.
Not all our land have been taken over, and our people have rendered without no alternative land for their own future development, especially being farmers. By extension, I still want to emphasize around the area of Tungamaje. Today, most of our farmers cannot access their farm now. The military people have taken over their land. It is creating a lot of challenges to our people. We are farmers and they don't have another place. So we appreciate if a step is being taken within a short possible time so that they are invited, so that let our people have a place to farm, so that to reduce the crime. Because once our people are not engaged in doing something, the youth will get themselves in doing some other things that will affect the nation. So we want to draw the attention, sir. Please, you can assist us. And then secondly, as I've said earlier, the issue of integration and the resettlement, both of them have positive and negative result. We want to say we will present our document and we want you to kindly look into it, because we have really sacrificed our own land for the building of this nation. But at the end, we the Nigerian people are having negative consequences, and we foresee, we being the host, we should be treated as Nigerians, not as second-class citizens. Because that's what we have been, people have been crying that we have sacrificed our land, but in most cases, whatever the outcome, we don't get the positive result at our own end. Sir, we will present our document. If you can give us time, sir.
Honorable Bala Iya, representing the Gbadoma community, described what he described as a long-standing pattern of injustice and discriminatory practice against indigenous residents. He said farmlands had been seized without compensation, disrupting not only livelihoods, but the people's spiritual and cultural ties to their land.
Key considerations and recommendations. We should be integrated into the Abuja master plans and be integrated where we are. Infrastructure should be provided, and those who will be affected by the infrastructures development should be resettled within their domain, meaning in our ancestral homes. The resettlement relocations should be a reasonable size of land, which should be given with relevant title documents to the affected individuals and enough money to develop any building as well be approved by the development controlled. The resettlement relocation must be done, and the indigenous must have proper move into another home before the property is demolished or taken over. All indigenes should be allocated lands with relevant title documents for the purpose of family expansion. Since our farmlands have been taken over, we should be compensated with commercial plots and lands with relevant title documents to enable indigenous whose source of livelihood has been taken to establish other source of businesses.
Meanwhile, the original Inhabitant Development Association of Abuja called for a constitutional amendment to secure equal rights for FCT natives. Represented by Giwa Bami, the group's president, Pastor Danladi Jeji proposed the establishment of a National Commission for Indigenous People to address the systemic challenges faced by original inhabitants.
As such, the FCT has evolved into a truly cosmopolitan center where people from all corners of Nigeria converge in pursuit of peace, opportunity, and progress. However, with its growth and diversity come multifaceted challenges. These include unresolved questions around the displacement of indigenous populations due to urban development, the unclear status and entitlements of non-indigenous residents, and the delicate balance between customary land rights and the demands of modern city planning. This legislative hearing is intended to promote and strengthen policies that may develop the position on future activities, particularly as it concerns resettlement and compensation. It is in recognition of these realities that the House of Representatives has mandated our committee to collaborate closely with the honorable ministers of the FCT and other relevant stakeholders in providing comprehensive, sustainable, and human-centered alternatives for the resettlement and reintegration of both indigenous and non-indigenous residents of the FCT. Our aim is to ensure that no community feels marginalized and no individual is left behind in the process of urban development.
As reported by Eagles FM National Assembly correspondent Tofa Momo, I am Baba Sunday, Eagles FM News.